Right. So here we are. Here we jolly well are. Eric, back for. Let's have a
Back
look on
for
the right
more?
hand side. We've got episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. We're doing quite well. We're on episode 5 now.
Yes.
We've got a little numbering scheme at the side here, which is quite nice. Yeah. So,
Yep.
on the agenda today, the bane of our lives.
Yeah. So in order sort of like we've left this upload content thing commented out because we don't want everyone to upload any content anytime. Um, we would rather restrict that to people we know.
Mm-hmm.
And that would, I guess, that sort of indicates that we need a notion of user.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah. And that also means that we need authentication, we need authorization. There's a lot of stuff that comes with users.
Definitely. It's funny. Funny the thing is to me. I don't know about you when you're like doing a project, but it's different when you're in a when you're like making a new project. Everyone thinks that user management, user authentication. It's always like, yeah, we'll just knock it on afterwards. It's fine. It's no problem. But I've always found it to be one of those things that people put off, and it actually is a real pain in the nuts. Um, so I think it's good that we're doing it now. We're biting the bullet. I think, like you said, although there is there's a big bag of things there, we can eat them we can have a multi-pack approach and we'll take one pack tonight, we'll take another pack next time, etc.
Yeah. So what we'll try to do today is basically create a sign up page so that you can sign up and we will then create a user in our database. Um, I think we'll do it sort of passwordless for now. So basically, when you sign up, you get a thing back, which is your token, and that's what you will be using to authenticate with for
Yeah.
the begin for this time. I really want to do some OpenID Connect or like farm off authentication to authentication providers or ID providers, but that's a little bit further down the road, I think, as
Mm.
well.
I'm guessing that, I mean, the thing, something like sign up with GitHub or something like that might appeal to our crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. And I find it really nice because like the less passwords and stuff you have lying around, the easier my life is, even though I use password
Mm.
managers and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into the sort of weeds here, but I mean, I think the idea of a sort of third party understanding like your information on this site though is it's a convenience, but it's also a concern.
Mm.
So it's definitely always going to be. I think we always want an option to to not go that way. So that if people prefer to just sign up directly, then they can do.
Yep.
But it's nice to have a choice for people that trust these surveillance state. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean it's not a joke.
No. Um, but yeah, I've given up, unfortunately.
Okay, well, that's nice to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you're getting old now, so I suppose you would give up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of going very philosophical on this. It's like uh, my life ain't too bad in this surveillance state. So,
Is that
if
philosophical or is that utility? I mean, it's like very
I mean,
pragmatic. I feel like.
yeah, but I mean, if this is dystopia, then I can live with it in a way.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. You don't understand anything yet. We'll talk. We'll talk offline. Okay.
Yeah, but the first thing we need to do, I guess, is that If we have a look at our DB,
Yes.
we see that our database design is somewhat naive. Could we say that? In
Yes, we can definitely say that. Yeah.
it knows how to store one thing, and that is this content stuff that we've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as I said to you offline, like what we're going to do right now feels very much like starting to implement MongoDB.
Yes. Well, like I said to you, I think anytime you store something that looks like a JSON document, you kind of think, oh, it's MongoDB. But
Yep.
those ideas were around before. You know, are you old enough to remember object databases?
Actually, they came and passed, and it was something that I thought would be revolutionary because we were doing a lot of ORMs with Hibernate, and
Yeah.
that didn't like it seemed like there was a lot of things that you wouldn't really have to do if you just stored the objects in the database, but we never got there.
No. No. I think what happens in the end is it's like I think in the end, what was interesting about object databases was that they gave the same promise as MongoDB, in the
Yeah,
sense that you could just store your objects directly in the database, but they were tied to particular languages like Java or like Smalltalk or whatever, or Ruby, and the trouble with that is that if you're tying it to a serialization of a particular language, then you've got a problem. So then you have to write. Then they ended up like, well, they of course made their own middleware to do this, um, and then you're locked into their middleware.
yep,
And I think the nice thing about JSON and MongoDB, well, first of all, JSON was that JSON is like not specific to a particular language, even though it arrived from JavaScript. And although you're kind of like bound into the MongoDB world of storage, your data is still quite portable because it's JSON. So so I think that was a sweet spot, really, wasn't it, of being able to say, look, we'll just store your data as you want to store it, as you know it, as you work with it. We'll store it that way, and that's really what we're doing as well, isn't it? We want to work with this data as Eden. We want to play in that particular pond as long as
yep,
possible. So yeah, I think we're kind of like, I wouldn't say we're doing MongoDB, but we're kind of offering the same kind of promises to ourselves that it was giving to developers.
yep.
But I don't know if you remember, but the first version of MongoDB didn't have file syncing. That's why it was fast. But that also meant that it lost a lot of data.
Yep. I remember when I was first introduced to Mongo, I was basically just shaking my head because I come from like the world of relational databases, and it's
Yeah,
like,
likewise. Yeah,
dude, there's no like, what if you just put like what we're looking at here? What if you just put fill name in here in one of these records? Right? You have to write these checks in your code rather than handing that off to the database saying that no, we don't have a column named fill name.
sure. Yeah,
And if you'd have to replicate that for every client that is accessing your same database.
yeah.
And
Well, I think these days things like spec and JSON schema are helping there, aren't they?
yeah, but then you're suddenly in the Mongo CLI and you're doing something, and then your specs and Molly ain't there anymore. So it's like I find great comfort in having some sort of database that enforces some constraints.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
that's
Yeah.
that's me. Anyways, what's gonna
But
happen now is I think this, but that's gonna break our
but
app
just
for a
before
little
we
bit.
move on to
Yeah.
that, just a few more seconds on the chit chat. Is that I think a database is sort of like the when I worked for a database company, and the thing about databases is they're really like 3 or 4 different things, you know. But people think of them as things where you store things, or things where you like you say, you declare a schema of the structure of the data you want to store. But to your point, you know, they're also tools and they're also APIs and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I think, and when we talked about this before when we were just discussing this project, and I think a lot of the things we want to do is use APIs as a mechanism for putting stuff into a database. How we implement that, whether it be in a sort of Duratum that we're doing now, or in something else later on, the API should offer us some kind of protection against change, but also should be the way that we store data. So we kind of, you know, we shouldn't, like, you know yourself at work, you know, if you go into the database and start messing with the records, you're playing a very dangerous game there, you know.
Yep.
No matter how good your schemas are, because you're messing with the state that other parts of the system are depending on. Anyway.
Yep. So if we this is executing this line of code here sort of gets us to where we want to be, because that gives us, you know, the collection content.
Very nice. Yes. Yeah.
But doing it like this gives me a sort of it makes me throw up just a little bit in the back of my mouth, because what's happening now is that we're breaking the app.
Oh yeah. From that side of things, yeah.
So
you're kind of like you're migrating the database, but you're not migrating the API. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is what we just talked about. So yeah, maybe we need an API for this first.
Yeah, but it's interesting to sort of think a little bit about this, because we're, you know, we have this by ID thing, and that's probably now going to have to learn about a collection as well.
Yes.
And then there's here where we're just pulling out the whole DB, which isn't going to be good enough either.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but I think this one where it's like pulling out the whole database, that is a bit of a dangerous move, isn't it? In general, you know.
Yep.
We probably do want all of this stuff to be mediated by some kind of API.
Yep. But I think we can live with a little bit of downtime, don't you think?
Yeah, we can live with a bit of downtime for the moment. Yeah, but I think.
But it's interesting, because it is actually highlighting a problem when you're evolving systems, right?
Absolutely.
You want to evolve the database, and you want to evolve the system, and you want to keep these things you want the thing to function all the time. So
I think, to be honest, for me though, Eric. Sorry, carry on. I'll let you finish your thoughts. Sorry, I didn't realize you hadn't finished.
Yeah. So for me, this particular decision or non-decision to just stick all the content in a list in an atom, that was not a great decision, because it's hard to seamlessly migrate away from that, I think.
I'm going to say that it was an awesome decision. Because it got us going really quick. And also, I think we can over-engineer for downtime when we haven't got any users. Even if we have got users, we'll give them some kind of SLA which says, you know, when we're doing this show, we're gonna break the system, or you know, we're gonna put a message on the Slack channel and we're gonna be down for a few days. Don't expect this system to be a 24/7 system. So I think it's okay. I think, and a lot of applications could learn from that. Actually, you know, not every application has to be completely available at all times. You know, a lot of things these days, although theoretically your boss could be on a plane in Japan looking at this stuff, yeah, most of the people are doing 9 to 5 in Europe. You know, so optimize for that. So I think we have to be a bit careful to because you end up in this kind of paralysis where you end up over engineering all of the solutions at the beginning for this like mythical success, you know?
So should we go for it?
Let's do it. Yeah. Enough blah, blah, blah.
Yep. So now we have a new database, and I guess we need to say content, and we need to uh, content here,
Why
here,
doesn't by ID do that? Because that seems like weird to me.
like this.
Okay, I see what you're doing now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Does that? I'm not really happy with this by ID thing, but we can live with that for now.
I think, I mean,
And
this
then,
is over, to me, it's slightly over generic because I would say content by ID, and then you could have another function which is more generic below it. Because to
yeah,
me, we're putting too much, the caller of this by ID is having to do too much work, I think. Because we haven't
yes,
even got users yet, you know?
yeah, I agree. Let's get to that when we have users.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So,
No, but what I'm saying is we can undo
yeah.
this and just have by ID doing content. It doesn't even need to take a thing.
You mean that doesn't take the database or
It takes the database, but it doesn't take
yeah?
this content collection because we know that they're all content now.
Yes, but then when we want to find a user by ID, then we need to have that. So that's why I did this. But fine, we can.
But
So
what I'm
basically,
saying is that function can be called content by ID.
but that's there we're gonna have to be in disagreement. But I can do like let's do that for now.
So you don't need the collection anymore.
No, and there is definitely some rename stuff that
I mean, this thing can call by ID,
yep,
which takes
yep,
something, you know.
yep. Okay, let's see where we're at. Seems to be working. Yes. Good.
Cool.
So a little bit of downtime. Um, what about equals sign up?
Sign up form, I think, maybe to do a little bit
Oh,
of
come on.
backseat driving. Yeah.
This is pair programming.
Yes, exactly.
And then let's do a sign up form.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And I'm
It's going to look pretty similar, isn't it?
it is.
In terms of the
So
post, anyway. Yeah.
we don't want that, and we don't want that. And we basically want like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we never figured out how to get this to say
We
sign
didn't.
up.
We didn't follow up, did we? We need
No,
to
we
have
didn't.
a. If any of the developers know how to change the name of the button, that would be really good.
Yep. And then we should have
And it will save us looking it up. And
yep.
no, we're not going to ask ChatGPT, so shut up.
There we go. So now we can sign up. But I might yeah, so and then
We need another stra. We need another
yes.
Another
We need another
route.
one
Yeah.
like this, which was just sign up.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a post. Oh, let me. So the upload we just did a do like this, right? And then we said
Redirect.
response.
Yeah.
But this is kind of somewhat problematic because we want to show the token that we
Well, but the redirect can be to a slash token, can't it? To a slash user details or something. So you want
yep,
another. You
but
want
then
another.
we need to have with an ID or something. Yes, yes.
Hmm.
But that's scary again, and I don't want to let's not go into why that's scary right now, but that's scary again.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. I don't think it's
Because
particularly scary because it's just a we're the only ones that are like sending information to it that makes any sense to anyone at this point.
yeah. Well, let's do like this first. Um so we have so we can handle the sign up.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Um and
We haven't. Let's do the sign up, then we'll do a login. Yeah,
yeah. Yes. What I would like to do here is I would actually um, like to,
yeah. Let's just do it. Yeah, knife and fork style. Yeah,
yep, because I don't remember this.
yeah. It's
Um,
fine. Yeah, let's do that.
and ah,
By the way, I know that this is probably annoying to you, but it probably would be good if you made that font bigger on the browser because I even. There we go.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, meh. But this is funny. It sort of okay, cool. And what do we have? Query string is nil, and then we got the body. This is annoying. Um,
Yeah, we're gonna have to destructure that one through some sort of ring middleware. I think. Like you did
yes.
with the form,
Yeah.
with the file stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, so we did this, but it's not really a multi-part request, right?
that's right. Yeah,
But
it's
we
a
did,
form, I guess. We can probably have some sort of form thing.
yeah. Meh, this is what I don't like.
Well, looking things up live.
Yes. Um, and I think we need to go to core. Sorry about the font here, but
That's fine.
see if I can get where I need to go. I guess it's params. So wrap params, blah, blah, blah. It does. Uh, yeah. So
I guess it's form
it's
params, isn't it?
yeah. I just want to get away from. I don't want to use the
No,
wrap
but in that,
middleware thingy.
yeah, in that thing they have online 51 or something. I think it is. They have this.
51. Assoc form params, yes. So it takes a request and an encoding and parses and assoc that stuff. Yeah. So, um, where were we? Handle sign up. Yes. So we want, and that would be. params. And you said uh, source form params of Reek. And then
What is the
this would,
encoding by default?
let's go find that for in a
Hmm.
second.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's
Uh,
UTF-8, but
so encoding, if not specified, uses, yeah. So I don't think we have, like it, if we don't specify options, then it does normal options, but here it goes and does UTF-8, which it then um, passes down in. So this is where it resolves the
yeah, yeah,
encoding,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
We can just put that in there, can't we, for the moment ourselves?
like this,
Yeah.
and then we can go back here and we can reload. And what do we have now? I
There we
would
go.
really
Form
hope that.
params. There we go.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, form params.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Excellent. You got eyes of an eagle.
It's
Um,
reading code all day, you know. It's like,
so, um, then I guess we could say like this. Wouldn't that be reasonable?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then
I mean, you can even go like really crazy and like nest the keys and have
I'm
email.
not smart. I'm not smart enough for that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Like, I have a hard time if like this is um
That doesn't work like that anyway.
no.
No.
No, because then you can't use, yeah, this is where like I know that you've written a library about destructuring. I have not.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, like this, right?
Yes, that works. Yeah.
And let's just do like this for a sec. And oh, here's a bug. Um,
Ah, yes. Yeah.
be nice to do like right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because then we could say ID equals or is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then oh, here's another bug, right?
uh, yeah. The bugs
So
bugs are coming in thick and fast here.
so that would be update content conj,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Assuming that content is a vector. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
You know
So
what's really annoying about
then,
that, by the way, is that if you do swap db update content conj, I'm
yeah,
not entirely sure that if you give it a vector, it returns a vector.
it I think it does because I think conj is sort of it returns what you gave it. But we can look at
We
that.
can double check that
So
because then I know yeah we occasionally get into situations where it changes to a list and then conj has a different meaning on a list than it does on a vector,
yeah,
which is pretty annoying to be honest. But there we are.
yeah. And I think it seems like writing like this swapdb update user conch thing is
It's getting tedious.
it's getting tedious,
Mm.
and I know that this is going to be very easy to get wrong at some point.
And to forget the refactoring aspects for sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's like we were
Um,
talking about before. Having putting some of this. Maybe as we do that next time, putting some of it behind an API will probably be a good idea.
yeah. What do we? I just want to create the user collection.
Right. So you can just say
So
swapdb assoc. Yeah. User
like,
empty. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
yeah. Because the other thing that you could have done is, which is a neat little trick, but it's useless here. You could have done fnil conj like that.
Yes.
But then you're doing that every time you're adding a user to,
Yeah, which I find obscures the reading a little bit.
yes, and it's also somewhat inefficient because
Sure.
you're,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Not that we're dealing with performance right now.
No, I think clarity is better than
Yep.
performance at the moment. But yeah.
Mm. Now, the other thing that we would want to have here is this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and you have written some code that I have sort of on a cheat note on the side here. So I'm gonna like really rush through that.
Sure. Sure.
But basically, what the um, can we do like this, and we say email, and you also have a timestamp here. Can you explain a little bit? Can you like walk me through what we're doing here?
Um, so yeah. So if we're going to create a token that is unique, then we'd like to be able to do, for example, for the user, we might want to create several tokens. So we don't just want to use his email or
Hmm?
her email. So we want to use some extra bit of entropy as well.
Yep.
So timestamp is something I picked, but we could pick something else. You know,
Yep.
you can spin it out with thin air, which is nice. Um, and then what happens with this token is you take a digest of these two things, and with like the JVM, it comes with a bunch of digest algorithms, including modern ones like SHA-1 and SHA-256. Um, so when you do this SHA-256 thing, you get back a SHA. But then, if you're going to communicate it over the internet, it's nice to have it as a hex string, because that always it gives you less stuff to worry about in terms of control characters and the complexity of transmitting data. So I like to use hex rather than um, other formats for this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it's not like I'm not making this up. This is like very, very standard for this kind of stuff.
Yep. I'm doing a little bit of yeah. I'm just nodding and trying to figure out what I'm trying to write here. So you could have told me anything right now. I'm just not paying attention
Right,
at all.
right, right. Yeah.
And I'm
SHA-1 is good
making
enough. I think SHA-256 is a bit more expensive,
okay.
and we don't need it
I'm
for
f
this kind of thing.
Yep. Um, That's sort of the meat of it, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
And then you had this other function here, which was bytes. So this basically takes string. So we take the Eden, we make a string out of it,
yes,
and then we call this function string to digest, which takes that string and uh, gets the bytes from it. I guess we should have really added the encoding here, but let's not for now.
yeah,
Um, and then we call the digest function with the message digest thing that we chose, and then we get a bunch of stuff back, which happens to be bytes.
yes,
Yes, so we need a way to get from bytes to something that's printable again,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And you wrote this bytes to hex string, which takes a byte array, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and you have hex format of.
yeah.
This is very Java-esque
It is pure
with
Java interrupt. Yeah,
uppercase. Yeah. Dot format hex BA.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could choose not to have with uppercase because with uppercase basically makes the output to be uppercase rather than the mixed case. But
Yep.
yeah. Also,
Uh,
maybe I pasted that thing. I somehow wrapped string digest in parentheses when probably isn't needed.
yeah, it was needed in your version
Oh,
because I
okay.
have you
Oh yeah,
had
I chose SHA-1 rather than yeah. Okay, but you've just
yeah, but
defaulted to it.
what you had here was that you had some optionality in, so you could either pass
Oh yeah, don't worry
the
about it. Yeah,
digest
yeah,
type.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
too fancy. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, and yeah, it's just we'll figure that out when we get there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I tell you what. Let's move to SHA-256 then, because what the heck, we might as well. We're not going to be doing this every day. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So, wait, unbalanced parentheses. Oh my, what have I done?
Mm.
This is where here's where I copy pasted some code.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
And there we go. Because that's like with when you're programming with Paredit, it's like you never miss with the parentheses unless
You
you
copy
like
paste some code. Yeah.
yes.
That's when power infer comes into its own. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Now we made a user, and I would kind of like for this one to actually what I would like to do is like that, and
Yeah.
then so we can return it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could also, I guess, imagine that there were two different responsibilities here. One is to create a user, and the other was to transact the user to the database.
Yeah. I think the well, I mean, I think the problem we've got here, which is like, it's probably obvious to everyone, is that if you create the same user twice, you're gonna duplicate it in the database at the moment.
Yes,
So
yeah,
so
we're
we're we're gonna permit that. Okay.
for now, yes, just to get this
Yeah.
up and running. Um,
Although actually, to be honest, maybe the map would be okay for users. You know, if we want to just chill out for a minute, because a map will be quite a nice way to look users up.
Oh, so you're optimizing to getting an index before we
No, 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 not even optimizing it. No, I'm making it easier for ourselves because we get uniqueness as well, which is nice, you know.
um
Like if we make email, for example, the key,
yeah.
then we can just ASOC into user email, and then we're done, you know.
Yeah. I want to hang on to that thought for a second because I just want to get this end to end first, if that's okay.
Why are you in such a hurry, mate?
Because I wanna see the
You want
token
to get to
on
bed tonight?
I want to see like I want to go I want to get the functionality right, and then we can like I want to provide something for our users. I'm
It's only
user
you and me.
centric.
I don't know.
But
I mean, okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, carry on.
yeah,
But we're definitely going to have to change it. But okay,
yeah. So
this
this
is this is this is
is
the fun and games of development, isn't it? You know.
yeah. I'm wondering if this is gonna work. Show token. Oh, you don't like that. You want it to be token.
Yes.
And then we'll create a token thing up here. Uh, and this takes a user, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something like this, and you like that. And then div, um, what do you want
I
to
think
say
you
here?
like that. Yeah.
Uh, stir. Uh, your token is token. Um, I put it safe.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is a tricky little URL, isn't it?
Well, we haven't done any URLs yet. Let's just see what happens. Oh, wrong number of args to next ID. Because I didn't evaluate this one.
Yeah.
Ah, this is lovely. This is
Oh,
can I
this is
go on a
because it's
slight
empty, isn't it? Yeah.
can I go on a slight rant?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Um, this is this is one of the foot guns in Clojure, and it's one of a particular set of foot guns because this trick here with apply max, it works almost all the time. So you can
Mm-hmm.
like unless you do property-based testing or you really really take care, um, then um, this that like you're going to go into this when you do apply max because max doesn't work for zero arity,
Yes. Yes.
which is um, so the thing is that it works most of the time, but then suddenly you get some data and it doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is there is a similar kind of trick you can do sort by and then you have a comparator and you have range 10, whatever.
Right.
And you're an old C programmer, right?
I am. Yes.
Yes. So you remember that the compare function in C, it sort of returns zero if
Zero,
they're
one, and two.
e
Yeah.
no, I think it's minus one and one. So it's negative if the one is smaller, zero if they're
Oh yeah.
equal, and
Yeah. Yeah.
then yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right? So by that, you can actually use minus as your comparator function if you're comparing numbers.
Hmm.
And that's what you do, I think, in C sometimes. And this works all the way up until you get numbers which are bigger than ints in enclosure.
Okay.
And there is a thread on the Clojure in Slack about this from years ago where I was like figuring out why this was as it is because as it happens, every function in Clojure implements the comparator interface, or yeah, the
Right.
comparator
Right.
interface.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's trying to do some nifty coercions and figuring out like if this is yeah, but it all ends up in that it truncates numbers into ints and then it basically doesn't work. So don't use minus as your comparator in Clojure.
Isn't there a form of minus that has that is um like like safe for or unchecked minus or
Yeah, but
something?
that's the problem here is not the minus, but it's the coercion of the arguments being passed to the comparator.
No, I know, but isn't there
Yeah,
isn't there an unsafe version of that though? That is
yeah, there is
sort of
an unsafe. There's an there's an unchecked. So no, this one
unchecked.
is
That's it. Yeah.
yeah. This one is safe. Then there's unchecked. Like all of these
Yeah, that's right. Unchecked.
subtract.
Unchecked, subtract. Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, maybe, and I think some of them have like these reader literals, don't they? But I can't remember
That I don't remember.
which one of them are like that now.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, okay, yeah. I think
So
it's always a tricky problem when you're dealing with numbers once they get beyond
yep.
size of an int or a long. Yeah.
That should work.
Yeah, I mean, my other way of doing that is to do some thread,
Okay.
and then you do
Yep.
or.
So that would be yeah. So all right. So you're saying like
Yeah, so you either
that,
you say
and then I
or
guess you
that.
need to have a seek somewhere
No,
here.
you can just say or. Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Oh, you get the exception. Yeah, but some will. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
seek
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this one to end up in nil. And then we can
You don't need the if
remove.
anymore. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So you need that seek, do you?
Yeah, because if you do DB
Let's
and
just
you
double check that, because if the DB collection map ID is empty.
yeah, but that comes out as an empty sequence, which is truthy.
For some thread, I'm not sure it is, but okay.
Okay,
Carry on. Yeah.
let's just okay. Let's do like this. That gives us an exception
Where is
because it
it?
doesn't.
Where is it happening on your screen, by the way?
It's not because my Emacs is on the remote and blah blah.
Oh, okay, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I think you're right. Yeah, good catch. Yeah, you learn something every
and
day, Eric, especially
and then you
coding
get
with you. Yeah,
here you get 0.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
Wow.
Wow. And if we
We'll call
now
that a day.
do
Stop now.
yeah, but I just want to look at so this is now our
Yeah, you've got
database.
user. We've got our first user. Oh, email is nil. Oh, that's annoying.
Ah, it's very annoying.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I would
what
be tempted to say swap the database for users with an empty list.
yeah, and try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can, well, yes,
Just
exactly.
rerun that basically, and then you
Yeah.
should be.
But then why?
Yeah. So before we do the swap, let's just do the printout or something of that form params.
Yeah, but I'm also, let's just do,
Yeah, we're on the same page here. Yeah.
yes. Oh, I think I know why.
Why?
I'm betting that it's not keywordized.
Ah, yeah.
That's
Good work. Yeah.
got a new token.
Got a new token. Yeah. Well, Eric, you're the first user zero. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
achievement unlocked. Okay,
That's
that's
four
good.
minutes
That's
to
good.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we can maybe do this next time around, but I think it would be. I do believe that it would be better to have this as a map rather than a vector,
Yep.
because yeah, it doesn't need to be a vector.
Yep. So then we're sort of implementing a unique constraint in the database.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And it's right. It's really nice as well because it means, for example, when someone signs up as ericassam.net, if you've already taken that, then
Yep.
they will say, okay, no, that's already taken.
Yep. Cool.
So that is nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So a bit of a recap then of what we've been doing.
Yeah. So we've done database migration. We implemented Mongo for the like we're done there.
Yeah.
And then we made the sign up form and handled that. And we also went into a little bit of we're sort of this stuff that this code that you had here, right?
Yeah.
Uh, this is sort of it's inching very close to the stuff that you apparently shouldn't do yourself. Like you don't roll your own crypto.
Yeah, but
But
we're
we're
not.
not.
That's the point, isn't it?
We're not. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
very close, but we're not.
No, we're not. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is an interesting sort of line.
Yeah, but
Like it,
the thing is that like there's so much the like rolling your own crypto. I don't think very few people's ever going to do that. And there's so many like crypto libraries out there now, and Java's a good crypto library. So the only question I guess that people might hit us with is like, why are you doing this Java interop rather than using a Clojure library? But to me, well, this stuff is it's quite easly available to you. There's not that much interop, so I feel like it's probably fine, you know. But beyond this, again, there's a sort of it's difficult to determine what that level is, but the level of interop here seems to be relatively smooth. So I don't doesn't feel like you have to go to a library at this point.
No. I mean, back to sort of my fine line, right? If we were to implement that one
Oh,
ourselves,
yeah, that would be mental. Yeah,
that would be mental and crazy
yeah.
to do, right? You wouldn't want to do that.
You don't want to do
Uh,
that. No.
no. But calling into it is fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the tricky part of all, and the thing that people get scared of, and for good reasons, is like when you're setting up certificate chains or setting up authentication chains, you're kind of inventing you have to follow good patterns basically, because if you don't follow good patterns, then you end up kind of inventing a crypto cookbook of your own. So that's why people tend to outsource some of these things to libraries or to frameworks, because they trust the author of those frameworks or those libraries to have looked at all the corner cases and to have went through the sort of the setup of these things in a secure way.
Yeah.
So, but obviously for this kind of stuff, where again it's very direct, we're just call it getting a token. So it's not, there's no complexity in terms of like the order of events here.
Hmm. So what we didn't do is like we've enabled sign up, but we have not done we haven't looked into authentication. So figuring out that whoever like making a way for you to ensure that or to prove that you are you.
Yeah.
And that we know that you're you. And we also haven't put in place any sort of authorization because everything is open for everyone at this point in time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing's open to anyone at this point in time, but yeah.
Well, it is, right? Because we can look at the episodes and we can sign up. The one thing that is actually beyond or some sort of very crude authorization is the upload content because you have to have access to the source code to be authorized to put that in place for now.
Oh yeah, and I think we should
Yeah.
comment out sign up as well, because I think you should have access to the code to sign up as well.
Okay, there we go.
We
If
don't
you
want
haven't signed
people.
up by now,
We don't want people signing up like between this time and the next episode.
would
I
be
think
fun to come back and have 100 users. So
who can never log in.
yes, but they have
All
their
right.
token.
They have their token, yeah, but yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Cool.
it
Should
would
we?
be. Do you want to leave it open just to see if we get one bite? It would be quite fun. Yeah.
It would be
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how many. We'll see how many Bitcoin farming concerns hit our endpoint.
Yes. Good. Should we leave it at that?
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's.